In this video, I want to talk about everyday well-being, and in particularly, I want to talk about what we do when we start to have like a lot of habits or things that we have to do in a day, and we get sometimes flustered, or we try to push ourselves too much and engage in multitasking. And there's a lot of studies, and you probably have heard this, especially if you're more caught up within the productivity literature, or you listen to productivity podcasts or life hack podcasts, that multitasking is often, we can't do it, or you'll hear that it's ineffective. And it's not so much that we can't do it, it's actually the latter, that it's ineffective. It's very hard to bifurcate our attention or split our attention on two tasks. It's not that we can't, it's that we diminish our psychological faculties. So our memory, our attention, or the associations that we can make, or the amount of creativity we can express, or innovation regarding various phenomenons. Though there is some compatibility there with getting creative, and I'll get into that a little bit. But overall, when we multitask, we're trying to do too much at once, or we're trying to do too many things at simultaneous times that aren't sufficient to be able to perform the task to an effective degree. So that's a way you could think of it. It's a little bit complicated, but an easy way you could think about it is that you're trying to do two things at once. That's not precise, because they could be at off timings, but it's more or less the case. And a more effective way to approach this, and how you can also enhance creativity and innovation, is through something called task switching. So that's focusing your attention on one task, and you might have still something on the back burner on the other, but it's good to think of things in terms of timers. So if you have, say, a slot of time like 5 minutes where you can perform another task within that 5 minutes or less, then by all means you can task switch to do that. And what you want to do here is you want to focus now from what you were once doing. You want to try to shut that off. But if you're just timing it, maybe it's easier to, especially if you have a smartwatch or something like that, to actually set a timer so you don't have to think too much about it. But if it's not like a serious task, what you can do is you can switch your attention and start focusing on one task, and try not to go back to the other. Try to just complete the other task that you're doing directly, and then pivot back to the other task. And this way you can actually increase your productivity, but also in the process you increase creativity and innovation. And this is because when we actually switch tasks, and during these short bouts of time where we devote our attention to, and then we stop, so we enter this dispersed attention, and then we devote our attention to something else, this is where there's an opportunity for our psychophysiology, so our processes that are going on, processing meaning and information internally, as well as our physiological processes regarding our neurons, form these connections and associations to those two various tasks. And this can start to scaffold innovative processing and innovative thinking, and lead to more creativity and also positive well-being. It can make us more efficient in the way we think, but also process information in regards to our surroundings, and develop knowledge in that regard, and to improve and improve and improve, not through multitasking, but task switching. And this requires mentally pivoting our perceptions, motivations, emotions, feelings, actions, various thoughts or ideas, and ways of approaching things in general. So it's important to get those two separated from each other, because one increases ill well-being. Multitasking tends to be more likely to produce things like stress and distress, particularly psychological distress, which is associated with burnout and can strain us ourselves and dampen our immunology. Where on the other hand, task switching can improve our well-being, increase optimal well-being, particularly this positive well-being, and increase a sense of competence or autonomy. It can feel good to actually be able to get more done in less time, or to be able to come up with a new solution to old problems that you once struggled with. And this is very, very useful for individuals who get a lot from being productive in the day and who enjoy productivity. And I certainly classify myself as one of those. a person who likes to set their own tasks and to do a lot for their own obligations and what they set out to do in a day. So that's all I wanted to say for this video, so I hope you enjoy. Bye.